Great. Thank you, everyone, for attending this morning. So as Brad indicated, just a quick upfront snapshot of what we're going to be looking at today. And really, there's three big columns on this. As you think about Dynamics GP, application's been in market for almost 30 years, very robust solution. And again, as you think about core capability, finance, supply chain, manufacturing projects, human capital, analytics, again, I've been working with the solution for 30 years, so that's probably why I'm representing it. In the middle, Dynamics Business Central, and there's a couple of flavors there. There is the new cloud-based Business Central product, which we will look at, and in comparison, there is still the legacy on-premise Navision, which has been rebranded as Business Central on-premise. So there's really a couple of different flavors there. We'll kind of differentiate between the two of them. And then in the third column is the big elephant in the room, the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, really the enterprise class application that really can do just about anything in the universe. And again, as you look at the statistics and some of the details below these, and we will provide these, is GP and both Business Central really grow from small user counts up. Finance and Operations really expects at least 20 users. So sometimes that's a big bar for small organizations. Licensing pricing is very similar as you look across the different solutions, whether you're doing an all SaaS model or whether you're doing a purchase in an on-premise model. Again, the implementation ranges as you look at GP and Business Central, very similar, and I think is in any context, it's scope that drives the implementation efforts around these products. So certainly a simpler organization doing just core financials is going to be in the lower end. Organizations that are implementing manufacturing and supply chain and maybe projects and maybe service are going to be on the higher end of that. In the finance and operations, you see that really starts at about 1,000 hours, and it's just due to the capability and the complexity of that solution. There's a lot of functionality. We use the proverbial switches. GP has maybe 50 switches. Finance and operations has maybe 1,500 switches, and those are configuration parameters. So again, from a sizing small to mid-market, both for GP and NAV, enterprise class finance and operations really is looking mid-market up. Again, is that a 25 million, a 30 million? Typically, it's much above that. So again, the solutions vary in terms of the offering. All available in a cloud type setting. True cloud, Business Central, True Cloud, multi-tenant, no maintenance in that. Again, as you get into the on-premise licensing, that can be hosted privately through a Microsoft partner or on your own servers. Finance and operations is Microsoft Azure-based cloud. So again, differences there also in terms of, they all support customizations, extensions, integrations, enhancements. Application maintenance is another one of those caveats, as I indicated. Business Central in the complete SaaS multi-tenant model is really the one where there's really a zero touch from the end user. So just as we wrap up here, again, we've seen a lot of neat stuff, and again, this presentation deck with all the other ones will be pushed out, but kind of at a very high level, kind of the side-by-side comparisons as you look at the solutions. It's tough. They're all great solutions. I think that's the first thing I'll say. But as we dig deeper at a very high level, we see modules and functionality, and certainly finance and operations has everything, and that's by design from Microsoft. If they think there's a gap, they're going to go buy it and embed it. Dynamics 365 Business Central, whether we're talking about the SaaS version in the cloud versus the legacy Navision product, there are some differences. The legacy Navision product still has more capability than the Business Central SaaS cloud product. But that said, a lot of great functionality in there. And you can see where there's some third party as you look at warehouse management, whereas in finance and operations, Microsoft bought a warehouse management solution and baked it in so there's mobility everywhere. Likewise, Dynamics GP, third-party solution there. And again, even though I have field service as third-party, that I think it's more in line with mobility and extending it out to the reach. And we typically are seeing a dynamic CRM play for both sales and marketing, as well as for field service where we need mobile field service out there. Again, great solutions, a lot of information to compare them. Again, as I revisit the side-by-side slide again, I didn't get all into the minutia. We talked about licensing. We talked a little bit about implementation. Again, there's that, how do I choose? And I think that as you rely on the turnkey professional team, again, this presentation scratches the surface. A lot of times people think, okay, I like F&O or I like GP or I like Business Central, and I'm only a $20 million company and maybe Business Central is the best fit because I want all SaaS and I want no maintenance and I want all cloud. But again, there's still more in those conversations. And as our team takes a look agnostically at a business, like I said, a lot of people will approach us and say, hey, we're 500 million, we've got 500 employees, we know we're going to be talking about F&O with you guys. As you're in that smaller segment, there may be some options where GP may be a great play, Business Central may be a great play. But again, what we'd like to do is we'd like to have that next set of conversations with you and talk about requirements. And to that point, as I show some of these comments here, that we are ready to engage with your business on your schedule. You know, there's people that want to go through selection and they want to have an idea of what they're going to do, but they may not plan on implementing till later this year. There may be people that want to make a selection process quickly and start implementing and be done by the end of the year. Okay, so part of it's timing, part of it's your schedule, your pace, but as we look at how we do this, level one discovery, it's requirements. We ask questions. We ask questions about organizational size, about industry requirements, about business processes, about, you know, what is a driver today? Is it dysfunction in the current system? Is it lost opportunities? There's a lot of reasons that people get up and say, I need to move systems. Maybe it's just old, it's 10 years old. Maybe there's a lack of support. Maybe there's the inability to integrate. We've had people talk about EDI. We've got a group we're talking to now where they cannot take advantage of new business opportunities because their legacy system will not let them add new trading partners. That's a big deal. If you're trying to grow, you cannot have your business system limit that customer opportunity, but that's a driver. So again, beyond level one discovery requirements, we talk about executive level solution visioning. And then that's an important, you know, and I do that and people on my team do that, where we really try to create vision. And it's, you know, you didn't get a lot of presentation about digital transformation today and that process and some of the Microsoft messaging, but there's a lot more that we communicate and we share as we look at the holistic view of the platform, not just ERP, not just CRM, but let's look at overall the business application requirements for the organization. And again, around solution visioning, there's some generic business process demonstrations, kind of what you saw today, but they're personalized and they're one-on-one. That's us talking to your business. Even early on, pro forma solution budgeting, everybody's like, okay, you know, we saw high-level users, this, that. How much is it really going to cost us for what we need? We're more than comfortable creating pro forma, you know, rough order of magnitude type of presentations of budget, and that's important to make sure, okay, we've seen big functionality, big features. We're not missing any for most organizations as you try to do that macro level validation is what we call it, but then even level two, discovery. What's that mean? That's where you're getting access to my subject matter experts who really understand the industry, really understand the application, and they're going to ask you those really deep, detailed qualifying questions and develop those requirements much more formally. Post a session like that, we're really in a position to prepare a demonstration illustrating your business processes and even examples of your data and the target solution. We did a discovery trip to a group down in the state of Georgia, Department of Corrections, and we went on site in the farms to understand their issues, their needs. Our presentation has to come back, and the example is it has to be simple. It has to be simple for the type of people. It has to demonstrate how do we manage their processes and the problems that are driving their organization crazy because they're manual. And again, prepared demonstrations, it could be 1, 2, 3. A lot of times those are really get granular. And you know, beyond that, we can even provide trial software. We create environments, we give people sandboxes because, again, our goal here, and you know, based in Missouri, we like to show me things. We want to show people the solution. We want to show them the outcomes of the discovery. We want to prove up that the solution really meets the business requirements and can drive the business beyond even the current requirements. So again, trials, environments, deeper validation opportunity, industry fit, and customer reference interaction. So again, as you kind of get a feel for process, again, your timeline, but that's kind of where we go from here. And again, it's at a macro level, there's a lot of resources out there to support these products. The only bad question is the one you don't ask. So again, at this point, Brad, I know that you want to give people an opportunity to ask any questions if there are any. So please feel free.